I'm calling to order the regular meeting of the Stokes County Board of Commissioners, Monday, December 22nd at 2 p.m. Keith, would you have our invocation, please?
Sure.
Please stand.
Precious Heavenly Father, thank you for all the blessings you give us. Watch over, guide us, give us a safe trip home. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the organization of the Board of Commissioners. And we will elect a new chair for the upcoming year. So I believe this is,
Floor open for nomination.
yes, floor is open for
I
nomination.
nominate Wayne Barncastle.
Move we close the nominations for chair.
And then a vote. Okay. And then a vote for the nomination.
Started.
Wayne. I vote for Commissioner Barncastle.
Wayne.
Commissioner Barncastle. Sounds more official.
He's already nominated.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So with Commissioner Barncastle now chair, I will turn it over to him for the election of the vice chair.
I have a nomination for vice chair.
Keith May.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Don't let me down.
Good. All right, please bear with me. This is new to me. So at this time, I'll ask for approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will move to public comment.
Each speaker shall be allowed 4 minutes for public comments with the option to yield time to another speaker or add an optional minute depending on the number of speakers that have signed up while abiding by the 30-minute total time limit. All speakers shall maintain good decorum and show respect and good manners. Vulgar language, profanity, inappropriate gestures, insults, personal attacks, accusations, and inflammatory language is prohibited. The chairman of the board shall enforce these rules, and anyone not complying with these rules shall not be allowed to continue. At the discretion of the members of the board, they may address items from the public comment portion of the meeting during the commissioner comment period. When you step up to speak, please give your name and address. First up, I see Dennis Jones. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I have the wrong page. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How many total?
I am so sorry.
Total, yeah.
I have,
May want to adjust the time to get in that 30-minute.
I have 17 speakers signed up.
Try to hold it to 3 because 30 minutes, we're stopping.
Yeah.
So fast.
Okay. Sorry. First up.
You done talked 6 times. Come on.
First up, I have Tim Mabe. Sorry about that.
One front, one back to each.
Person on the board. Hello, my name is Tim Mabe. I live in Walnut Cove, North Carolina. David Couch has the habit of buying land and having it rezoned at adjacent landowners' expense and his benefit. The way he got 80 acres in Summerfield rezoned being an example. And why the straw purchase of the 1,850 acres he got in Stokes County? Why did he feel that a man from Virginia first had to purchase the land before he could get it? One of the largest data centers in North Carolina is zoned M1 on 156 acres. Most of Mr. Couch's neighbors were here before he was, built their homes, bought their property, know it was zoned RA, and the adjacent land was zoned RA. Why does Mr. Couch want to rezone 1,850 acres to M2 when one of the largest data centers in North Carolina is zoned M1 on 156. Mr. Couch's neighbors shouldn't be the ones doing all the sacrificing and he receiving all the rewards. This is a very large tract of land and should allow us to accommodate Mr. Couch and be a little bit nicer to his neighbors. We know Mr. Couch wants 1,850 acres rezoned to M2, while one of the largest data centers in North Carolina is on 156. Walnut Cove and Pine Hall don't need nor want a data center 12 times the size of the one in Charlotte. Since we really don't know Mr. Couch nor Mr. Nations, I suggest a compromise. Neither side getting all it wants. Approve 300 acres for the data center at the center of his property to M2, leaving the remainder of his land RA. The 300 acres would be a test to prove if their word is their bond. This will give a buffer to his neighbors, and he has land that's now zoned for his cattle. This proposed data center rezoning does not have to be 100% or nothing, not a my way or the highway position. With this compromise, if property values go down, it's his property. If a 100-foot high building hurts the view, it's his view. If running gas turbine generators, power lines, gas lines, diesel fuel tanks, hundreds of batteries, electric substation make it not as pretty as it once was, he gets to see it. This way he gets richer and only the cows get to look at it, smell the fumes, and hear the noise 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The proposed 1,850-acre data center would be 2 campuses, one south, one north, with 2 mega buildings on each. It would be one of the biggest in the United States and powered solely by gas turbine generators for the first 5 to 10 years, if not longer than that. There is no way to justify this 1,850-acre project in the Stokes 2035 plan. Thank you.
Kendra McClellan.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Kendra McClellan. I was born and raised just right up the road in the Dry Pond community of Patrick County, Virginia, but I've had the privilege for the past 5 years to live in King. I'm currently finishing my bachelor's degree in environmental science, and I'm here today to urge you to deny the proposed rezoning of the 1,800-acre parcel in Walnut Cove for the data center development. I want to be clear. My opposition is not based on fear of change or lack of information. It is based on science, documented impacts, and long-term stewardship of this county. Even with environmental studies and mitigation plans, this type of infrastructure is fundamentally incompatible with the land, water, and community of Stokes. Independent research, including work summarized by MIT, shows that modern data centers, especially those tied to AI and cloud computing, are resource-intensive industrial facilities requiring enormous and continuous electricity and water inputs. These inputs are not theoretical. They're already being documented across the country. The U.S. EPA makes clear that increased electricity demand directly increases environmental and public health concerns through air pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, and water use. No matter how efficiently designed, a data center of this scale places constant strain on the power grid and shifts environmental cost to surrounding communities. Water impacts are equally concerning. Even closed-cycle cooling systems like the one proposed create thermal and discharge stresses. Placing this kind of facility next to the Dan River, a vital and already pressured watershed, introduces long-term risk that cannot be undone once development begins. We also have real-world evidence from nearby states. In Virginia, the legislative audit and local reporting show that large data center developments bring increased stormwater runoff, land conversion, and infrastructure strain, often with relatively few permanent jobs to justify the scale of impact. This rezoning would permanently alter 1,800 acres of land. Once approved, there's no meaningful way to reverse the ecological or hydrologic or land use consequences. For these reasons, I respectfully ask that you deny this rezoning outright. Stokes County has a responsibility to choose development that aligns with its land, water, and long-term well-being. Our children deserve a county with clean water, healthy ecosystems, and decisions rooted in stewardship, not short-term promises. In closing, Commissioners, I'd like for each of you to take this question into consideration. How often do developers or big corporations actually put the interest of rural communities first? Thank you.
Diane?
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak today. My name is Diane Koffel, and I live in the Walnut Cove area and wasn't born here, but have for the last 50 years. I have some questions. Simple questions, hard answers. Have any of you actually spoken to someone at Duke Energy about what this means, short-term, long-term, as far as the grid? If not, I urge you to do that and provide answers, real answers, to the community. This 1,850 acres, you know that when that first scoop of dirt gets removed to be leveled out for this, that you have effectively changed the way Walnut Cove and surrounding areas in the county will forever be affected. That is a big challenge for you to make that decision and to think about what is realistic, what it means short-term and long-term for this county and the citizens. I ask, and I've looked, has ELS, Mr. Nation's company, ever completed a data center? As far as I can find, the answer to that is no. Remember, he doesn't live here. This does not personally affect him in any way other than his pocketbook. And I say that because any real estate developer who is trying to develop 1,850 acres in a county away from where they live is only looking for the financial benefit, not the realistic benefit to those left behind. What about water and sewer? Any of you live in Walnut Cove? I know some of these folks do. What's going to happen? We've heard Mr. Nations actually tell us that they would need 100,000 gallons of water a day. But no, they're not going to take it from Walnut Cove. They're going to have it trucked in. Do you know how many trucks that is? Take a look at the math. Where are those trucks going to go, and what kind of detriment is it going to be to the town of Walnut Cove and the surrounding area? Plus 1,000 employees at least to build this facility. For how long? We don't have dates. I don't know if you do, but we certainly haven't heard them. So add 1,000 people a day coming and going in Walnut Cove. The traffic. Has anyone talked to the sheriff to see what that means crime-wise? What would happen? It's all a factor in the decision that you guys get to make. And we're trusting you and encouraging you to make the right one. We're not trying to halt advancement for Walnut Cove and surrounding area. We are simply saying, consider the alternatives. What we would like, in truth, is a no vote. That would be our ideal. That would be what we would hope from you. If not, like Tim said, cut it back. See what happens if you want a data center here. But make it be beneficial for us. We're the long-term residents here. Also, at the very, very least, do a moratorium to give yourselves more time to find the facts. To stop this. This is a rush. We started hearing about it in November. Maybe you guys knew about it before then, but I don't think the rest of the community did. And the final public hearing is supposed to be January, conveniently over the holidays, when we all get to worry about it, but Mr. Nations could care less.
Ma'am, I hate to stop you, but we got 15 more behind you.
I get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Gertrude Bonnick?
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Bertrand Bonnick. I've been practicing here for the last 2 years, and I'm looking to go full-time and do some expansion. I do have some concerns about Stokes County, and the first one is I'd like to volunteer, as I am a registered parliamentarian. We need to make a few corrections that I'll be happy to help with. Call to order, approval should be adoption, consent agenda, section 4161. Minutes should really not be a part of your consent agenda and so on. But I'll be happy to help you. I do parliamentary procedure for the Young Lawyers Association of the American Bar Association. Now, let's talk about artificial intelligence. AI is not intelligence, it's artificial information. So one of my concerns about this county is its health care. As of 2023, the life expectancy at birth in the United States is 78.4 years. In Stokes County, according to the North Carolina State Center for Health Statistics, it's 73.7. That's 73.7 years versus 78.4. And the main cause of death, which I've seen already since I've been here over the 2 years, and this is listed as heart disease, cancer, accidents, stroke, chronic respiratory, lower respiratory disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidney disease, back in 2023, COVID-19, chronic liver disease, and cirrhosis. I think we have a problem in this county that we should address, and we shouldn't add something to this county that's going to cause a further decrease in the lifespan of the residents here. 73.7 versus 78.4. So anything we're going to do should not cause that problem. Finally, the infrastructure. You have some of the best EMS and firemen I've had to call for emergency problems. Luckily for me and my facility, we are an approved sedation facility, and I do teach medical emergencies for dentists all over North Carolina. I do 19 classes a year. I think we should think about increasing our EMS. You have great EMS. Increase your fire department. Make sure the infrastructure is ready. There's no hospitals in the area to admit patients. And acute respiratory arrest, you have 4 to 6 minutes to get that person going. Cardiac arrest, the same thing. We don't have the infrastructure if one person responds to have a follow-up. Thank you.
Jim Wilkes.
Well, I'm here today following doctors and folks like that, and I'm just comfortable, okay? So, my information, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. I'm here to express my feelings and those of everyone that I've spoken to in our part of the county, over in southeastern Stokes County. If I may, I would just like to quickly give you or share with you a little personal background, and it's not about me. I'm 82, okay? So a lot of mine's gone, okay? But this is an example. I was born and lived within 1/4 mile of the little house, 2 rooms I was born in Stokes County. Now that's right over near, right where this is going to be. 1/4 mile, right there where it's going to be. So, I've spent my entire life in Stokes County, 30 plus years as a teacher at South Stokes High School. Some of you went to South Stokes. And later, a lot of years as a North Carolina State probation officer. But there again, that's not my point. That's just to let you know that I've been in the county and been an employee here and worked in the county like some of you have. And so my point now is, how morally humane is it to impose this type of disruption on folks' lives for financial reasons. Is that really in you? Is it? Financial reasons. Now I'm 82. I'm going. You know, I may have to leave where I live if this 70 decibels 24/7 is going to be ringing in my ear all day. I may have to up and leave. Now I hate to, but I probably will have to. So I'd just like to leave you with one little quick statement here, and I'd like to ask you to give this some personal. Just give it some of your personal thoughts. In our lifetime, lifelong service is lifelong service in residents and a taxpayer in Stokes County. Still worth anything in today's world. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I truly mean what I said.
Please.
Taylor Van Buren, and also please remember to state your address when you come up to speak. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Taylor. I live at 1060 Birch Tree Road in King. I'm a tax-paying resident of this county. I'm here because I love this county and care about the well-being of my neighbors and their children. I want to be clear that my opposition to the proposed 1,850-acre AI data center is not rooted in fear of progress. AI is already embedded in modern life, and small consumer use rely on existing infrastructure. What's being proposed here is something very different in scale and impact. This facility is designed for extremely energy and water-intensive workloads that raises serious concerns about the strain on our power grid, rising utility costs for residents, and long-term pressure on our water resources, including the Dan River. These are not abstract risks. They directly affect the health, the affordability, and sustainability of this community. There are cultural and historical concerns that cannot be ignored. This land includes documented indigenous Saur burial grounds. Once disrupted, that history cannot be restored. Protecting sacred ancestral sites should not be optional or treated as an afterthought. I've attended community meetings outside of the official commissioner sessions and spoken with residents whose family have lived here for generations, as well as descendants of the indigenous people who were here long before that. What I hear consistently is not resistance to progress, but concern about the being asked to bear disproportionate environmental and social costs of industry that can exist elsewhere. Finally, I'm troubled by the lack of meaningful public engagement, transparency, and the decisions of this magnitude require broad awareness, accessible meetings, and real consideration of alternatives. Not rushed approvals. There are places where facilities like this may make sense. I do not believe this is one of them. I urge you to slow this process down, listen to the community, and prioritize the long well-being of Stokes County over short-term promises. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Melissa Mitchell.
Chair, Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Melissa Mitchell. I live at 553 Mitchell Street in Walnut Cove. I am a lifelong resident of Walnut Cove, and I am asking you to deny the request to rezone the nearly 1,900 acres to M2 heavy manufacturing for Project Delta proposal. This request is not a minor zoning adjustment. It is one of the largest and most consequential land use decisions Stokes County's ever faced. Project Delta is being advanced by Engineered Land Solutions, a land development firm, not the long-term data center operator. Their business model is to rezone and prepare land for resale, and that distinction matters. Because once the land is rezoned to M2, the county permanently loses control over what heavy industrial uses may follow, even if the original promises change or the property is sold. The applicant has emphasized that this is a closed-loop data center. And while that may reduce direct water withdrawals, it does not eliminate the project's most serious impacts. Hyperscale data centers require enormous amounts of electricity and rely on large diesel and natural gas generators operating around the clock for years, not just for emergencies. Those generators produce continuous noise, vibration, diesel particulates, nitrogen oxide, and heavy fuel truck traffic, conditions fundamentally incompatible with nearby homes, farms, and schools. Across the United States, more than 230 environmental, climate, public health, and community organizations have formally called for a moratorium on new data center construction and rezoning approvals until cumulative impacts on power grids, air quality, water systems, land use, and long-term community costs are fully understood. Counties are learning, but often too late, that once heavy industrial zoning is granted, the community bears the environmental and infrastructure costs while long-term benefits remain limited. This project also conflicts with the long-term vision of Walnut Cove. That vision emphasizes rural character, historic preservation, scenic corridors, and balanced growth. An industrial zone powered by 24 hour generator farms and substations does not align with that future. It would shift Walnut Cove from a small town with agricultural and cultural identity into an industrial utility hub, irreversibly. There are also unresolved concerns regarding cultural and archaeological resources, particularly the Upper Sar landscape. And once grading begins across thousands of acres, those resources cannot be restored. Finally, no amount of conditions can fully mitigate the core issue. M2 zoning is too broad, too permanent, and too risky for a project of this uncertainty and scale, especially when the developer will no longer be the long-term operator. For these reasons, public health, land use integrity, cultural preservation, fiscal responsibility, and the future of Walnut Cove, I respectfully ask that you deny this rezoning request. Growth should strengthen a community, not redefine it against its will. Thank you.
Gary Wilkins, Jr.
Good afternoon. My name is Gary Wilkins, Jr., a lifelong resident of Stokes County, community servant, registered voter, parent, property owner, and taxpayer. I am speaking in favor of the rezoning request, which will be presented at your January meeting. I'm going to provide you with factual rationale to support this proposal. During the October 4th, 2022 meeting, the County Commissioner set the precedent that when a zoning decision is in alignment with the 2035 plan, the zoning committee can be overruled as it should be. During that time period, it was for a Dollar General, and was the last time this room seen this much uproar from the Pine Hall and Walnut Cove community. 3 of you were on the committee at that time, and in the interest of time, I am only going to paraphrase. This is not direct quotes, as the live stream is available as well as the official meeting minutes. Therefore, you can go back and see your exact quotes. So this is not to say you did say it as I am repeating it. But Mr. Morris, you said, and I agree, Pine Hall is underserved in a lot of ways. You are going to make fact-based decisions. Not everyone is going to be happy. Best serve Pine Hall and the greater Stokes County community as well. Planning Director's recommendation supports this. It is in alignment with the existing development patterns of the area. Increases property tax revenue to the county. Creates new jobs in the county. Concerned that if the board turns down the project, it will negatively affect this man's property value and will potentially result in legal challenges. Ms. Cox, you stated Rick made a good point when this meets all the criteria, and if we were to deny it, then it sets us up for how could we approve something else in the future. Dollar Generals are kind of demonized, much like data centers. Mr. Barneycastle, you as well was on the board. You said, I trust the planning director, and I know he dots his I's and crosses his T's. And now that the groundwork for overruling the committee is established, I want to address fear. In that same meeting, Pam Hooker stated the experimental drainage system of the Dollar General may impact water, and she had concerns that area wells would run dry. I mention this because the irony is that is the same argument and fear that is largely being made against this project when the developer has clearly stated this will be a closed-loop system relying on captured water sources from runoff of the guttered system, which is a common in manufacturing facilities. Additionally, I would point out of all the fear for that project regarding wells running dry, pollution, traffic, and crime have all proven not to be an issue, and the Dollar General is in business today. Next, I have heard people say that power bills would go up. I am not here to say that power bills will or will not go up, but I am here to say that it doesn't matter. If this is built in Stokes County or any of the neighboring communities, the power grid is the same, resulting in the same impacts with none of the benefits. Additionally, that is a state level issue as power bill increases are regulated in North Carolina. Next is health concerns from pollution. No different than a major hospital needs backups, we all want and desire the internet, for which all intents and purposes is this data center, to have a backup. The same generators that would be utilized in this project are very similar to the same generators you would find at any major hospital. I'm going to respect time so that speakers behind me can also speak. I will email you all a copy of my final notes. Again, I do support this and would urge you to probably extend out your next meeting based on the number of people you see here. Thank you.
Gary Wilkins Sr.
Good evening. My name is Gary Wilkins Sr. of 8799 NC Highway 704. I've been a volunteer fireman here in the county for over 40 years. I'm here to implore you to approve the data center here in Stokes County because Stokes County is a Tier 2 county, which means we're designated as distressed. We're losing in growth at 4.6% compared to United States growth. Our median income here in Stokes County is only at $52,413. Stokes County's got 12% of the population living below the poverty level for a family of four, which is $32,000. Stokes County population currently is at 45,857. Of that population, over 20,000 are 50 or older, and that's compared to only 12,000 in 1980. In 2022, under 24 is at 9,000 compared to 1980 at over 10,500. And in 0 to 4 age range, which will be going to school, they've decreased from 5.2% to 4.6%, and the over 65 population has increased from 16% to 23% here in Stokes County. As all of you know, we've lost 3 elementary schools since 1980. We have got to have tax revenue here to support our volunteer firemen. The doctor spoke of EMS. I live, and like I say, I've been a volunteer fireman here for 40 years. My house is in Stokes County, but it's over 20 minutes to the nearest EMS station. That being said, you've got to find volunteer firemen somewhere in the county. If you continue, you're not going to have any growth coming into the county because 65-year-old men like myself are not going to fight fire but so much longer. We're the administrators of the department. Everyone wants to have services like fire, EMS, and police, but no one wants to pay for it. Our taxes in Stokes County have gone up the last couple of years. Everyone knows it. I own a farm and my tax went up over $200. I don't think that the people that are speaking against it is taking into effect that our Asian population is only getting older and older, and for the people of that age, they've got to have fire, EMS, and police service. And where's that going to come from? That's going to come from your pocketbook because each ambulance costs money. If you build a new station, it costs money. A fire truck now is at the minimum over $700,000, and it can only be in service for about 20 years. So with that being said, once again, I implore you to approve this data center and to help Stokes County grow. Because as it's been said before, I made my living my entire life working with utility companies. So if the power grid is tapped, it's going to tap Stokes County just the same as it would Guilford County or Forsyth County if it's built somewhere else. Thank you very much, and I appreciate the time here. Thank you.
Dennis Jones.
Oh, man. Thank you for your time, Board. I've been here living in Warner Cove. Oh, my address, 1158 Fulp Road. That's right off of 89. T's in the Tuttle Road. I'm going to be short and directly to the point. I've been living here for over 50 years. And my statement is, I'm posing this to each one of the board members, does the town of Warner Cove need a data center? That's all I got to say. Does the town of Warner Cove need a data center? Think about it.
Helen Altman.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak. I've emailed you several times, and this issue means a lot to me. I live less than 5 miles away, and I own adjacent property,
Please state your address, honey.
7540 Crossing Ridge Drive, Blues Creek. And I own adjacent property that I plan to build on. Y'all have scared me into not doing that. I'm very concerned about the data center complex proposed for rezoning. The zoning change will harm this community. It will cause an even greater harm to nearby landowners and homes. There's several people on my road that have never been told about the project, and also in neighboring roads, homes that are very, very close to the project that don't understand the impact of the noise and the pollution. Our community stands united with very few exceptions to this rezoning, and I want to just read down a list of several reasons not to do it. You all have a copy of this list, I hope. And I also would like to invite each of you to get in my car and go to the Dan River and see really what you're damaging. I can walk you on my beautiful piece of land that has a half a mile of river frontage and show you what this data center will do to our area. The planning board, this is the start of the reasons, so just cut me off when I need to stop. The planning board voted against this change. This change is not in line with the 2035 Stokes plan. I've started a detailed list of this. I have 8 pages on the first very few pages of the planning, the plan to show that this does not align with it. You know, we want our communities to trust your decisions and to honor your long-range plans. We want others to have confidence to purchase land in Stokes County knowing our land use is predictable. Data center approvals are against public opinion. We may even make national news in this because it's becoming such a big deal across the country. We want our children to live in these communities. I want to get out of Forsyth County and my children raise children here. And do you guys have a parcel of land next to you? Would you like to be the next target? Do you want the next data center next to you guys? I bet not. Nobody wants these things next to them. Trump just signed an executive order limiting local government control of data centers. Keeping this zoning from changing might be the only way you have any control over what they do at this site. Promises of a developer do not mean anything once the zoning has passed. Many of his promises are unacceptable and harm our community. What protection did you give Stokes County when you did the zoning change? And maybe that's the planning board and not you guys. Did the developer help you pass it exactly the way they wanted it? Should zoning be changed again to add more protection for our community?
Okay, honey, I've got to stop you. Time's up. So
Okay.
we've got several more people behind you.
Yes, y'all do have the list. Please read every item.
We will.
Robert? Robert?
Leave it how I will, the time limit.
We're about 35 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna allow the speaker here, and then anybody else that wants to speak, please come back to the next meeting. We have gone past our 30-minute time limit. We appreciate y'all coming, and you can come back and speak at the next meeting, and that will be posted when we have our next meeting. So you go ahead, sir. We're gonna.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Robert Spong. I live at 2389 Tuttle Road. I guess it's ground zero. I went to the meeting at the fire station, and I asked ELS directly, what was the reason for coming here? He said, well, because it's so close to Duke Power Station for us to connect to. It saves us money. I said, well, why do y'all target tier one and tier 2 counties? He wouldn't answer that. Well, you can find it online. It's because it's economically, disparate counties and tax revenue and the medians. And then I asked him about his PowerPoints, about we're in a race. His PowerPoint, we were in a race with China. I said, we can't control what China does. I said, we can control what Wanacove does, but not China. And on top of that, to dispute that, the Trump administration just allowed, or the United States government just allowed the chips, the AI chips, to be sold to China. So there's out the window. Then he talked about jobs. I said, well, how many of the jobs are coming from Stokes County? I mean, how many commercial type construction facilities does Stokes County have? He couldn't answer that either. He wouldn't answer it. So, and then I want to talk about infrastructure. One of the young ladies was talking about infrastructure earlier. You have roughly 12 miles of highway to any 4-lane interstate, meaning trucks are going to be traveling up and down where school buses run, with the risk of children getting on and off buses. I'm talking about thousands of trucks over a 5-year period. He talked about bringing trucks in for water supply. That's 10 trucks, 11 trucks a day hauling 10,000 gallons. That's what a tanker hauls. I was in the trucking industry. I know a little bit about logistics. It makes no sense for this data center to go into a rural community where you don't have the logistics, you don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to think. You don't have, I mean, it puts schools at a danger. All these trucks want to be passing past schools. But you definitely don't have the infrastructure with water and sewer and fire. The man was talking about fire. What happens there if there's a fire there? Do you think Stokes they had a problem putting out the fire on Rosebud Road or whatever road it was, where they had to get help because they couldn't get enough water? What happens if a data center catches on fire? What are you going to do then? I mean, unless you got ladder trucks and everything else, and fire suppression systems. But anyway, I am against the data center. Like I said, I'm at ground zero, y'all. So I hear the construction now putting in the solar panels from sun up to sun down every day. And if you don't think I won't hear generators running online to pull power every day for the rest of my life, I can't open up the windows, exhaust fumes. Like I said, I was in the trucking industry. I know what diesel smells like. Believe me, it's not pleasant. It's not good for you either. But like I said, I am totally against this. It doesn't line up with the 2035 economic plan for Stokes County. Thank you.
With that being said, that concludes our public comment, and I think the fairest way to do this, we will save your name and you come back to the next meeting and you will go up in line first behind anybody else comes at the meeting and signs. I think that's the fair way to do it. But at this time, the public comments are closed. Thank y'all for coming.
And that's the 12th.
That'll be the 12th of January. And that'll be the evening meeting, 6 o'clock.
Y'all not gonna stay for the rest of the meeting?
The state auditor, I was going to print out 5 copies, but our copier is not.
That's okay.
But I'm going to talk to Kyle Law and get some of that money here in the county.
Chair, can we let me just a 5-minute break until everybody clears out?
This is the report that matters.
Y'all please exit through. We've got a meeting we got to continue with. You're welcome to stay if you want to.
I want to hear our comments.
I said hello.
I will.
I'll be picking with them as soon as I get a chance.
All right. Next time we'll move to comments from the commissioners. I'll start with Commissioner Cox.
I'd just like to say I appreciate everybody being here today at the meeting and for the concerns that were expressed. And we are going to put a lot of thought into this and research before we make any type of decisions, and there'll be more meetings. So wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and thank you for being here.
Mr. Chandler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to welcome everybody. It was good to see a crowd, and a big crowd it was. I think that I, like the rest of the commissioners, and we've received a lot of information over our email system. And then recently I'm getting them in my mailbox now. I've tried to respond to each and every email. It's been a little bit overwhelming. We try to do that and then still conduct other business with the county. However, I do read all of them, but for now I've just kind of stopped responding because it's kind of like getting the same information. But I continue to read it, and I definitely will take that in consideration before I make my decision up about the data center. I do want to say this, that wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and kind of like the standard ideology that I have, I'm strong for public safety, and I always want to remind everybody that over the Christmas holidays, you'll get that good time to relax and be with your family and celebrate. But you'll know that you'll have people working in our communications center, sheriff's deputies, police officers, firefighters, and paramedics. Keep them in your prayers, and make sure that you remember that and also our military, because our freedom isn't free. And then lastly, I'll keep it real short, but I've been made aware, and I finally got on the political social media sites, because it's the political season, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff that certain people are posting, and I had made a promise to my wife.
I'm sorry.
I won't keep it.
to not engage in the political campaign business until after Christmas. It has been hard for me, but I am gonna maintain that. Christmas is a special time. It's always been a special time to me, even growing up as a kid and in the church. So I'm gonna do that. But with that being said, after Christmas, I've got some real fun facts that I'll share with everybody regarding the political stuff. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Morris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody and wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We do appreciate all your comments that you have either emailed to us or mailed to us by snail mail or provided to us in these sessions. And like Brad, I will take all that into consideration before I make any decision on the data center. I'd also like to recognize FOSS, the adoption facility we have over in Meadows. I just adopted a puppy from over there, and they were just totally professional. It might have been a mistake, but I'm keeping him. I couldn't part with him at this point, but he's making Kathleen and I young again, I think, trying to keep up with him. So. And then the last thing I want to just I got a little statement I'd like to read on my candidacy for county commissioner. I want to go through that, and then I'll be done, Mr. Chairman. I want to let everyone know that I filed last week for one more term as county commissioner. This is a change from my previous plans, but the major reason I decided to do so was the lucrative proposal we received from Novant Health to take over operations of our hospital in Danbury and to expand medical services in King to include a 24/7 emergency room. My top two priorities since I entered local government in Stokes County in 2004 have been keeping our hospital open and expanding internet access throughout the county with River Street and our other providers. Since we've been blessed with the excellent Novant proposal,
I would like to stay engaged with the Novant transition for one more term to help shape the medical services planning and outcomes for Stokes County. I think I am the best qualified candidate to work on the Novant transition because of the thousands of hours that I have invested since 2004 to keep the hospital open, along with other folks like Pam Tillman, the hospital administrator, and former County Commissioner Leon Inman, who worked numerous hours on this. This was a time when many other rural hospitals closed. Along with keeping the hospital open, we have almost completed the county-wide internet expansion with River Street. I would also like to stay involved in that project until its final grant is secured and the project is completed. I would note that to date, about $24 million have been invested in the River Street project, and only $1.8 million of those funds came from local taxpayer dollars. Furthermore, I'll be running on my legislative record and will work hard to draw a clear contrast between my positions on the issues and some of my fellow candidates who bring a completely different perspective to the Stokes County government. My record is well documented on readily available videos of past commissioner meetings and in more than 70 blogs that can be viewed on my website at rickmorriscommissioner.com. For new voters to the area who may not be familiar with my background, I am a lifelong Republican. After college, I entered the United States Army as a commissioned officer and served on active duty for 26 years. After retirement from the Army, I worked for 2 years at the National Security Agency and also worked in the Washington, D.C. area in the private sector as a business consultant. Following my federal service, I entered local government in Stokes County as the county manager. I served 9 years as county manager and am now finishing my second term as a county commissioner. As I did in the last election, after the first of the year, like Brad, I'm doing stuff after Christmas, I will take questions from voters on any subject and through any medium, and will make every attempt to provide written answers and have them posted to my website at rickmorriscommissioner.com within 24 hours for public viewing. I will answer anonymous questions or those that have a name attached to them. In closing, I will be turning 73 years old next month. Though I'm getting older, I'm blessed with good health, and I want to ensure everyone that if elected, I have every intention of serving my full term. At my age, I think it's important for me to state this. Personally, I feel it's very unfair to voters when elected officials end up leaving before their terms are completed and their replacements are appointed by a small group of people on the executive committee of the departing official's political party. I would certainly appreciate your vote for one more term, and I will continue to try to move Stokes County forward. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Morris. Mr. Woods.
Thank you. I'm glad everybody turned out. We do hear you. If you sent me an email, I have not responded. I've read it. When I respond, it creates more data. So my speech, I have decided not to run for re-election, but I will be here another full year, and I'll give it my all. I feel like we've done a lot. I've learned a lot, but I'm going to give you an example why I'm not running. Friday night, me and my wife was at Calvary Christian School. And we watched one of 8 grandsons receive his state championship baseball ring from Calvary, who won the state. I got to see one game because of this job here. And so I want to see more games. He's just a freshman. And I got others. I've had 3 great-grandsons be born since I took this position. I've had a mother pass away and an estate settled, so it's me time. But don't think I won't work my butt off the 12 months I got left. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Again, reiterate some of the comments been made by other commissioners. Appreciate everybody coming out and giving their opinions on the data center. I have received several emails. I've received several letters in the mail. If I don't respond to your email, it's not that I didn't read it or I wasn't thinking about what you sent me, because I am gathering up a lot of data myself. And I will tell you, I have been to other counties. Last Thursday, I spent all day on my time looking at 4 data centers in other counties. So I'm not rushing into this. I just want everybody to understand that. I want a lot more information, and this week I'm going to another county and look at another data center. I want to make sure I'm hearing everything I'm seeing. So I'm taking pictures, I'm videoing it, so that way I've got all my ducks lined up in a row when it comes time to do what we do as commissioners. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and look forward, by the good Lord, to seeing y'all next year. And thank y'all for being here. Now, with that being said, we'll move to the conflict of interest. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Hey, I've done it all the time.
I'd just like to take the opportunity to brag on Amber a little bit. For folks that don't know, this is Amber's last meeting, and she's leaving Stokes County. Last day is next Wednesday. She's moving on to other opportunities. Amber's been with us for about 4.5 years. Hired initially as a clerk, and I wasn't here at the time, but I'm guessing it didn't take folks very long to figure out that we had something special. And it kind of turned out that way too, because it wasn't long after she was hired to be the clerk that she was promoted to be the clerk and assistant manager, and then later on was the acting county manager for about 1.5 years, if I recall correctly, and did a fantastic job in all those endeavors. And I tell you, I owe Amber a great debt of gratitude for the way that she brought me on board, and under her leadership, she and the rest of the senior staff here in the county, because that transition could have been very difficult, but they made it under her leadership. They made that transition very easy for me, so I very much appreciate that. She's leaving us, and she's going over to Surrey County to fill a similar position. And so, we really hate to leave you, Amber, or to lose you, Amber, but we're really excited for you and for your future, and for the great things that you're going to do over there in Surrey County. And like I said, we hate to lose you, but sometimes it's nice to have a friend and ally in our neighboring counties as well. And so that's maybe a silver lining to all of this. And I'm just going to make a prediction. It won't be long, and Amber is going to find herself as a county manager again. So, how about a round of applause for Amber?
Can I say
Yes, Amber, please speak.
No more than 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay. Well, thank you, Jeff. That was unexpected, and I appreciate that. As Jeff said, this is my last commissioners meeting. I had to write everything down because I don't think I'd get through it if I didn't. But so my last day with the county is next Wednesday, December 31st, as I'll be transitioning to a new role in Surrey County. As I reminisce on the last 4.5 years, I'm proud of the work that we have done to better the lives of our residents and our employees. They were not without challenges, but it was all worth it. We did and continue to do our very best to navigate those challenges, to move the county forward, to make Stokes County one of the best places to live and work. My decision to leave was a tough one, and it really was, but I'm invested in this county and I call it home. It will continue to hold a special place in my heart even as I transition into the new role in a neighboring county. Our team has made great strides over the years, and I know that the efforts will continue long after with the wonderful team that we have here. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank each and every Stokes County employee, some I have met and others I have not, for the tireless work they do every day to improve the lives of our residents and to make Stokes County the great place that it is. To department heads, Jeff, community stakeholders, and anyone else that I've had the great fortune to work with at Stokes, and county attorney, and Ty, thank you. Finally, I want to thank the board, both past commissioners and present. Thank you for your belief and support over the last several years. We have worked closely together to improve our county, and I am forever grateful for the opportunity to be part of the team. I appreciate each of you taking the step to serve the public
and for also giving me the chance to serve with you these last several years. So thank you.
Thank you.
We have more comments now.
Olivia, would you like to speak, please?
Yeah, only because it's Amber. So I've not been here that long myself. I've started in April, but Amber was, like Jeff said, made the onboarding process very easy. It is very hard to imagine that office across from mine and the seat beside of mine being empty. Jennifer can attest, and Keith can attest that earlier when I was helping get the other meeting ready, I was like, I need Amber. I didn't have Amber, and I was just so. I was like, I got to get used to it. But I'm unfortunately not a Stokes County resident myself, so I feel very confident as a Surrey County resident having Amber come over. I feel like, I mean, truly, when she told me about the position, I was so ecstatic for her, and knowing that Surrey County would be in very good hands. And as Jeff said, we will have a very good friend and a good ally as our neighboring county. So I wish you the best, Amber. We are going to miss you immensely. And if you just ever need a clerk in Stokes County to come on over, maybe bring you some coffee or something. No. But of course, we will keep a very strong working relationship. If there's anything you ever need, please let any of us know.
Amber, don't be poaching our talent either.
Try not to.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you.
Before I move on, would either one of the commissioners like to comment to Amber before we move on?
I would let him finish. You don't got anything else?
It's okay.
I guess that to me, it's a prime example, because I know when I first got on the board, I know things went moving kind of quick and everything, but I think it's a prime example because one of the things that I identified real quick is there was no professional development going on in Stokes County with the staff. It was all day-to-day stuff, from going in, going to see the county manager, and she's trying to punch stuff in from today. And then HR was doing payroll and doing all the other stuff in a cramped room. And their IT, I mean, I didn't even know half the people. When I come in, I'm getting complaints. Not for the persons, the people that are in IT, but the system itself. But this is a prime example to where our talent got poached by Surrey County. And on one hand, I hate to see you go, Amber. I know we spent a lot of time, especially when I was chair, and you guided me through some of the, I'm kind of like Commissioner, I guess I can call you Wayne. But, of not being, when I was chair, just not really having, the stuff down the way that I do now with the experience. But you were very patient, and I could talk with you, and you could talk with me. Had a lot of challenges. And I think one of the biggest things that you were able to do is you were able to smooth over the transition and make that final contact with with our North Carolina County Board Association. And to this day, they're still helping us. And all the stuff that they did, that's just part of their contract, what we normally pay them. And for that, that's thinking in the future, and I was sticking with it. I know it wasn't easy, but you did it. And I just want to thank you for that.
Mr. Morris.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Amber, I'm really going to miss you. I can't hardly believe you're leaving, but...
It don't feel real. For me either.
But, I realized immediately when Amber walked in the door, based on her past experience, work experience already in legislative business and everything. But beyond that she just had tremendous potential. I mean, it just like Jeff and I have in the military, we have noses for people with potential, and we can figure it out really quick, and
And it was obvious to me you had the sky's the limit as far as your potential is concerned, and that's what's really important. And so I was talking to you about being county manager almost as soon as you got here, I think, you know, or I knew that would happen someday, and my guess is you will be a great county manager, and then you'll probably be something way above that before you're finished. And that's what I'm going to be watching and looking for. So thanks again for all the support and help and being so easy and to work with and so competent. Much appreciated.
Mr. Woods.
Thanks for everything. I'm nicer than the rest of them. When you don't like it after 6 months, call me and I'll get your job back.
Good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I would just like to say it's been a absolute pleasure to work with Amber, and we appreciate everything. Sorry for the late night texts, and it didn't take her long to learn my schedule is late nights and late mornings. So, so she picked right up on that, and I appreciate you responding to those last minute thoughts of late nights. So when I am probably at my best, honestly, having to think about all this stuff, so I appreciate everything you've done. You're a high flyer. You'll continue to do well and succeed in everything that you do. So we appreciate everything. Thank you.
First, I apologize for overlooking you. I really do. I bet I'm a little nervous. You know, it's the first time sitting here, so
It's the haircut.
It's the haircut.
Yeah. Throwing you off.
But I was just sitting here thinking back when you got hurt. Commissioner Morris, Mr. Cox, and myself was sitting on this board when we brought you in for an interview. And I'll never forget when you walked out the door from the rest of them, I looked down this and I said, golly, did y'all hear that little young girl? Man, she was good. And I remember Commissioner Morris said, I believe she's the one. So, and you've lived up to that. You have done an outstanding job for this county. And I appreciate everything you've done, all the phone calls, me aggravating you about this, what is this, you know, that kind of stuff. And you never once hesitated to call me back. So, and again, I appreciate that. And I knew it was coming down the road because other county tried to get you, but that didn't work either. So the homeboys got you. So there you go. There you go. So, and I wish you the best, honey. I do.
Thank
I
you.
really do.
Thank you, guys.
Now we'll move to conflict of interest. Before moving further, does any board member have a conflict with any of the items on the agenda for today, one that will proceed as a conflict of interest?
No.
No. Okay. I get approval for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, information agenda. Miss Tammy Martin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to bring to you the results from our fiscal year 24-25 clinic and every program report. I didn't put it up here because I'm just going to summarize each program for you. You've had the PowerPoint and everything to look at. Our total patients seen in our clinic did increase this year from 3,271 to 3,297. The majority of those patients are in our adult health program, which some of those come from the employee wellness program also, so that's increased a lot of our patients in that program. Our provider show rate's 80%. We did 605 immunizations this year. And our prenatal clients are still at 19. That program's low, but we're looking at promoting it more within the coming next year. BCEP, we had 101 this year. Last year we had 86. The communicable disease program, the STIs decreased overall, but pertussis did increase for our county this year. Environmental health, the well inspections increased a whole lot this year. And as you know, we've been short-staffed. But right now, we are currently filled. All the positions are filled. We have a new contract person coming starting January the 5th, I believe. So we're hoping to get caught up in maybe 6 months because our newest person that was hired will be ready to go out, I think, on his own in 6 months. Our WIC program did increase from 4,208 to 5,219. Emergency preparedness, everything's about the same. Our CMARC, care management for our high-risk pregnancies and our at-risk children, those numbers are roughly the same every year, 76 monthly for care management. And then for the high-risk pregnancies, 38. Other than that, do you have any questions about any of those programs that you look through?
How are you handling the increase? Is it putting a strain?
Not really, because we still have no-shows. We're always going to have no-shows. We can't charge fees for no-shows. And then we do have our new mental health program. And I can bring back numbers quarterly if you need those, because I give them to our board. Or quarterly too.
I just got one, I guess, a comment, but one of the things that kind of jumped out at me is the sexual diseases. I mean, and for Cumberland County, they were, like it was like, really, shocking. But for here, I mean, it just seemed like it's kind of high.
It is, and I mean, it's rural, and I know some people don't go seek their treatment, but we have to get in contact with them and see them within 24 hours, so we do our part. Now, they could be repeat offenders, but, we try, and we're trying to get more education out to those two.
Do you have one, Sonia?
I don't really have a question, but it's good to hear that you've got the positions filled and maybe catch up on all those. That's what we hear more than anything about is those kinds of inspections and delays and stuff. So the other part that we don't hear that much about, but I know that you're doing the mental health, telehealth now and stuff, so that's very much needed. So just keep up the good work, really.
We still have no-shows in that too.
Right. That's all I've got.
I was looking through all that information. I was kind of looking for something like on drug overdoses and how we're doing in that side of the house. Unless I missed it, I didn't see.
It wasn't in that report. It was in a separate report that I give for the opioid. Drug overdoses are down in our county.
Significantly, or we've invested a lot of
30-some%. Well, now that's not all opioid, because now you have new drugs that are taking those places. So you have the meth and cocaine and all that. So at the point we're at when we get opioid money, we're fighting an old problem. There's already a new drug by the time we get that money, but we're doing all we can to fight it. We have Narcan. We've done education at all senior centers. It's in all the blessing boxes. We have a box outside of our health department with information, the Narcan and locks for guns. So we're doing more education. We're going to all the community events. We cannot take it to the schools, but we can take the information.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're getting a good return on investment with all this effort. And
yeah, I can do another report and bring it to you guys.
Okay, yeah, that'd be helpful sometime. The other thing, only other question I had was looking at all of those visits in the various parts of environmental health. Are we staffed at the right level to do that many visits and have a reasonable wait time? I mean, are we at the right number now, or?
We are right now. Most of them are it's not the new ones, it's the one where they have to go out and do repairs, Brandon said. So the girl that's going to contract actually works in Guilford County, so she'll be able to go out and do those repairs for us.
So we're going to keep the contract for a while?
We're going to keep it till we get called up, because by then, the two new ones one should be trained and ready to go out on his own. The other one won't be able to go to CIT till I think it's February or March of next year. But the newest guy, he will be trained within then to be able to go out. But we're going to keep them until we get caught up on all that, because the food and lodging is good on that side.
I'm glad you're doing the contracts. Those long wait times we do hear a lot about. What's it down to, the wait time now?
It was, if I'm not wrong, it was 8 weeks. The last time I asked him in November.
For what? Wells and, septic or wells and septic? Yeah, it needs to be shorter than that, I think, don't y'all?
Yeah. I think when we were completely staffed, it was only 2 weeks then.
Yeah, 2 weeks is the number I was looking for.
Yeah. And we're not there yet.
That's really what it needs to be.
If we get the new contract, we've still got, Brandon's the only one out there working.
Yeah.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Well, Commissioner Morris, Commissioner Cox asked two of the questions I was gonna ask you anyway, so about your staff and about the overdose. I was sorry I didn't get to make it at last month's meeting. My grandson had a band concert at North Stokes, and he informed me, Paul, you'll be there to see me play. So, and I lost your cell phone number. I couldn't call you, but again, I apologize for that. We meeting tomorrow night?
We're not meeting for December, we're meeting in January.
Okay, all right, well, I'll see you back in January, and I apologize for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
I have to warn you, you have no comments, Liv, when it comes to your turn.
Next, discuss the agenda, Brandon Gentry.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Just bringing you guys the franchise agreement with Lifestar Ambulance Service. It's something we've been doing since 2016, and we renew it every 2 years. And it's coming up December 31st this year. And they're still handling all of our non-emergency convalescent doctor's appointments, and do run some 911 calls that can be handled by basic life support ambulance to relieve the strain on our 911 system. Nothing's really changed in the agreements or operating procedures. Just have to get your approval to keep them here for another 2 years. You have any questions, or?
Do you need that moved to action today?
If we can. So, well, the last meeting where we canceled, I was going to get it done today, but if we can do it today, it'd be great.
Brandon, is the reliability still okay?
Yeah.
In terms
I mean, they
they
had staffing issues. It seems to be a lot better in the last year. I know during COVID, they really, just the staffing issue period and all the discharges from the hospital, they was using that truck more to take care of calls in Winston to bring them back. But it's still better them doing it than, you know, us sending our trucks to Winston to bring people.
Just want to make sure that we're getting our money's worth.
Yes.
That we're not, you know, being the second-handed.
Yeah, I mean, we're not.
We get to you, you know, when
right.
we can type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they've been great so far. We had really no issues. They're going to try to dedicate that truck that's in Stokes County to only 911 calls, if we can get them enough calls. So that's something we're kind of talking about, try to get more relief on the 911 system here for the county EMS ambulances.
I know you've probably been asked this before. Is it feasible, us doing this with a non-emergency unit versus them doing it as far as monies go?
Or as
you haven't
monies?
Looked at that?
Yeah, we've looked at it probably back in 2020 or 21. There is revenue there, but it's going to require, I mean, buying more ambulances, staffing more people. I don't know if it's something, as far as me as the EMS director, I want to make sure the 911 calls, the emergencies are handled.
Yes.
If we do that, you're really going to have somebody overseeing it, looking at it, going to these hospitals in Winston, say, hey, call us for your discharge coming back to Stokes County. But then it turns into a business. I mean, you could eventually make money on it, but it'd be a lot of upfront cost for the county.
Okay.
I think it's something we need to keep looking at as we go.
I don't think we need to put it on the back burner. I think we need to maybe get Jeff to run some numbers on it to see what it looks like versus.
I don't, yeah, I mean, there's a revenue capability there, but I don't think it would pay for itself.
Some counties say it do, some say it don't.
No matter look at what we take in right now and
right. I mean, you really have to do it
for ambulance services, and we're not breaking even there.
Right.
So.
Right.
That was my point right there.
It's the only thing. I mean, you could make money, you may not. You could go in the hole. These are more scheduled, and they do seem to pay better, but it's a lower amount.
Right. I mean, they do a good job. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I hear them all the time, so they do a good job.
I think it's a good way to do business as long as you got somebody like them that does a good job.
Right.
If that changes, then
we've not had any issues, and they've even talked about maybe increasing their EMT level to advanced EMT. So it would definitely help on the 911 side.
Anybody got any further questions? We'll move us to action today.
Okay, thank you.
Next, is, the fee adjustment for commercial solar farms. Eric? Good.
All right, we went back and took a look at some other jurisdictions around Rockingham County, Forsyth, Wake, Mecklenburg, Guilford, and we also looked at Davie. And when we looked at Davie, everything seemed to make sense. A lot of the other calculations from the other jurisdictions, to be honest, didn't. We weren't able to see how their math was mathing completely. However, Davie County made perfect sense. The revenue was even more for the permit for solar farms, and we felt like that would be something that would be understandable and adequate to transition our fee over to. I'm assuming that every one of y'all got the copy of what we're proposing today. Okay. And if we could, I'd like to see this move to action today.
Any of the commissioners got any comments?
I'm good with it.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm fine with moving it to action.
Yep. Thank you, Eric.
Eric, just for clarification.
Yes, sir.
You're recommending your original recommendation, or you want to alter it to be match Davies?
Yes, want to alter it to match Davies.
Okay.
Move that to action today.
And that's your recommendation too, Mr. Manager?
I think it's reasonable, yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Next item is employee benefits. Ms. Jamie.
Yeah, they did for all of them. Yeah.
I saw you hit your head.
I was like, I think I'm bleeding. I was hoping nobody saw that.
It's not
And
covered
I
under
just brought
workman's
it up
comp.
in front of everybody.
Sonia had to say something. I may lose my voice when I'm up here, so it's trying to go away from me. So if it does, bear with me. Okay. So why we're here. So our number one goal is to provide our employees with the best possible insurance while keeping it 100% paid for by the county. Currently, our dependent costs are extremely high, which impacts both the employees and the county. We've worked with our current broker for many years, and they've been great partners. We've had a great working relationship. However, employee feedback from the employee engagement surveys and exit interviews shows a high dissatisfaction with our current health insurance and the dependent coverage cost. We've approached this, our team, being HR and the finance staff, has met with multiple broker groups, and we've kept Jeff and Amber informed with everything that all these meetings throughout the process. Together, we have agreed that the Peers Group is the best fit for our county's needs at this time. And I meant to print this off for you all, and when I came down here and was overwhelmed by the amount of people in the room, I was like, I'll just email them the presentation, so I'm going to email this to you all too. So the purpose of this review was for multiple reasons. First, to reduce the overall costs for both the county and for our employees. Second is to improve the affordability of dependent coverage while keeping future budgets and sustainability in mind. And we want to do all this while incorporating long-term cost projections to support strategic financial planning. So why the Peers Group? We chose the Peers Group for several reasons. They have extensive experience with self-funded local government benefit plans, including success with neighboring counties like Rockingham, as well as the Stokes County school system. We've spoken with staff at both Rockingham and with the school system, and they can't say enough good things about the Peers Group. They have a proven track record of lowering dependent costs while maintaining full employee coverage. They bring over 100 years of combined industry experience, as you'll see in the next few slides, and their approach strengthens long-term planning, strategic decision-making, and cost management. The Peers Group offers a full suite of consulting, brokerage, and strategic solutions designed to enhance the employee benefits experience. They help employers overcome common challenges from plan design to administration and employee education. As you can see from the visual that I took from their presentation they presented to us, they cover everything from compliance to employee communications, wellness planning, and more. The Pierce Group will provide a dedicated benefits consultant and an account executive as our main contact, as well as Employee Service Center in North Carolina, billing reconciliation report, and on-site benefit counselors to meet with employees. They also provide a benefits administration system, custom booklets, and a micro suite for our employees' access. The Pierce Group also uses Blue Raven actuarial software, which gives us a complete snapshot of our health plan cost, the expected versus the actual, surpluses or deficits. This helps with budget forecasting, identifies actual cost drivers, and provides clear, actionable data for adjusting plan design at renewal time. It also helps us to see how the plan is performing, both in current versus prior years. I know this is super hard to see, but here's the screenshot of how the Blue Raven software looks, and it also provides multi-year cost projections, which is critical for strategic planning. Jeff, this is the first time you've seen this. I know you're excited about this one. This tool allows us to forecast future costs and adjust strategies proactively and ensures that dependent coverage remains sustainable for our employees. So our recommendation is that based on all this, we're recommending the board approve to move forward with the Pierce Group as our new insurance broker. This will provide our employees with better insurance options, hopefully improve dependent coverage, affordability, and strong long-term planning for the county. We think this will be a smooth transaction. Like I said, we've met with multiple groups over the last 3 months, I would say, and we were even entertaining other groups before that. So we've done all of our research. We've listened. We've sat in multiple meetings, and we've reached out to numerous counties and school system that worked with all of these companies. So
I remember the Pierce Group when I was on the school board.
Mm-hmm. They love them.
Yeah, they were good.
Rockingham loves them. So we were very impressed. Of course, we were skeptical, so we called around not only to neighboring counties, but we also called folks that don't know us. So
right. It's I mean, it looks good. I'm just got a question. So with our current provider, and then compare to this provider, because in my past experience, a lot of the affordability issues when it comes to the premiums going up is how many claims, and if we have a real big huge claim, that kind of, is there a way to predict, or are you seeing that we're still be better off if we do get a large claim that for that next year, when they say, well, hey, you had a $500,000 claim with one person?
yeah, so you're talking about the stop loss, and this company has assured us that they can look at our plan design and our claims over the last 3 to 5 years to see if we even need to still be self-funded, or if we need to go a different route. Tell us what our options are and why. I can tell you that our claims cost has come down, so I'm hoping the stop loss comes back at a better rate this year. I think they say it takes like 2 to 3 years to see that decline, so I'm hoping that we'll see it this year. We haven't had any high cost claims. Well, we have, but not like we did 2 years ago.
I think your question's a very fair one, and I don't know that we're in a position to answer it right now. If I can restate your question, you're wondering if we have another big claim in the future,
right?
Does this solution still beat our current solution? Right?
And it does.
Well, I know.
Or you're.
I think that's.
We may have to investigate that a little bit further.
Yeah.
If it's a deal breaker.
Yeah, that's just.
It may be across the board, no matter which company it's
Right,
gonna be the
yeah.
same.
Well, there's,
But, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
different
yeah,
companies
there's
might
different-
might
no, there's
manage their
different-
risk differently,
there's
right? So,
right,
you know,
right.
they say,
different.
you know, if you don't have like large claims, then we're gonna keep your rates low, but if you have one, we're gonna spike it up, whereas another company might seek more middle ground, you know, so. We can look into it.
Yeah, and that's not the broker. That's the stop loss carrier. So that's going to change each year anyway. You're going to go out and shop for that. You're going to shop for that as well.
So it's not dependent on.
No, that's not
us using-
dependent on this.
So I guess that's the answer. Thank you.
That makes sense.
So, what you're talking about is changing brokers.
Correct.
Basically.
Mhm.
What was the other broker's name?
Cypress Benefit Solutions.
Yeah, okay. And did y'all do an RFP or something to just decide you wanted to look around, or what?
We just decided that we wanted to look around based on, you know, the feedback that we were getting from employees and the experiences that we were having in our office. We thought that would be the best thing to do. And we had several companies reach out to us. And then we reached out to a couple more as well, so that we weren't just talking to two groups.
I think that's appropriate. I mean, just like auditors, you don't want to keep the same ones forever for several other good reasons. But so are you looking at then not becoming self-funded, did you say?
I'm not looking to that, no. I'm just, they would tell us what we're better off doing for the size and the amount of employees that we have compared to the claims that we've shown for the last 5 years. They'll make a recommendation, yeah.
Get a fresh set of eyes to look at that, basically.
Yep.
That's probably a good idea. But I think the self-funding thing's worked pretty well.
It has. You're going to have good years and bad years with self-funded. But they have the software and they can provide the expertise to tell us, you know, if what we're doing looks like we're going to, what the forecast looks like, if we should stay self-funded or maybe look at other options.
Okay.
And I'm not saying anything bad about our broker now. I just think that they didn't have as much local government, large employer experience as others do.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
I think it's great with the health insurance situation where it's at. You got to go fishing every year. That's
A couple years.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to see us look at next budget cycle is, and it doesn't really have to do with health insurance, but our county's policy with maternity leave. And I didn't realize the county doesn't have a maternity leave policy or fund people who are on maternity leave at all. And that's something I'd like to see us check into in the future and try to come up with something that'll help our employees with that, because
We can add that as an O for you to look at in January.
okay.
Good report. I know what you did with. My wife just got a letter. Her insurance went from $383 to $1,100 in January. So I totally understand. Try to find the best deal.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you. We move this to action.
Please. And then if I could have one more minute, I just want to show a little bit of appreciation to Amber as well, especially on behalf of the HR office. But I know I'm speaking for a lot of the department heads and for a lot of the employees. I'm not going to say much because I'll get choked up. But Amber has been a strong advocate for our employees and for bettering the benefits. And you've always been very supportive of our initiatives. And I want to thank you, and I wish you the best.
Okay, the next item of business is the county attorney contract removal.
Good afternoon. I don't get to talk much during this part of the agenda usually. Our office is going to be merging with another law office effective January 1st. The current contract for services is payable to our office, which will not be the payable entity at that point. So all I've done is submitted a proposed amended county attorney contract, which removes reference to our firm and allows me to designate a payee, which will be King Law Offices. So
just doing that, I will still be the county attorney. I'll still be in King. So it's just giving us a wider network to be able to serve our clients. We just ask that if you're in agreement with it, to move that to action, if you would.
Dollar amount stays the same, right?
Yes, no financial information has changed.
Well, hey, with the new guy on the block, you don't know.
I know.
That might be how he's buying you.
Hey, you're good for 6 months. I can say that.
I wonder which one's gonna ask that question.
Yes, I haven't snuck anything in that would be a raise or anything like that. So.
That was one of the first parts I read when I read it.
Making sure I wasn't sneaking a pay raise in on you. Yeah. No, nothing's changed on that front.
Move it to action.
Okay. Next item is Board of Health appointee, Olivia.
I received an application from Dr. Fix, who is an optometrist, interested in the vacant optometry position that is on our Board of Health. No other applications have been received, and that position has been vacant at least since April that I've been here. So I just recommend that we nominate today, and then we can move this to action for the next meeting to poll the board.
Okay.
Make a motion we do that because I'm very familiar with Dr. Fix. She would be a very good candidate for the Board of Health.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I guess the next be the action agenda.
You might not have wrote it all down. You might want to ask Olivia.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I want to mess up first day.
Let me go. You be all right.
If you do, it'll be her fault.
You be all right. It won't be the first time something's gone wrong under me.
Yeah, I can see.
First item on the action agenda is the franchise agreement renewal.
Motion we approve the franchise agreement renewal.
Second.
Second, I'll second.
Okay. All agree?
All agree.
All in favor.
Oh, yeah.
Say,
It's all right.
parliamentarian is over here taking notes.
Next item on the action
You ain't got enough
agenda.
paper.
Next item on the action agenda is the fee adjustment for commercial solar farms.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the action agenda, the employee benefits program review.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The final item on the action agenda, the county attorney contract amendment.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That takes us to closed session.
We go to closed session.
I'll read the rationale real quick. To consider the initial employment or appointment of an individual to any office or position other than a vacancy in the Board of County Commissioners or any other public body, or to consider the qualifications, competence, performance, character, and fitness of any public officer or employee other than a member of the Board of Commissioners or some other public body pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A6.
Make a motion to go into closed.
Here's a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll take a recess.
Yeah, second, about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Recess.
Good to go.
I hear a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Merry Christmas.